Hi guys, this is Anne-Marie with Sheets That Teach, and I am so excited to share with you probably the most innovative behavior log you've ever seen. I truly think this is one of my all-time favorite products. I really wish I had something like this when I was in the classroom. So just for starters, all of our products come with a start here instructions page, and you can feel free to turn this video off, play around with it yourself, or read here. There's some very detailed instructions, but if you don't want that, you can always delete or hide this sheet. So I'm going to hide it for our purposes. This product comes with 5 days of behavior logs preloaded for you. Now, if you'll notice, this looks like what could be a pretty standard behavior log system. We have our subjects going down, and then here we would have all of our skills, which I took some out, but I just wanted to show you guys how automated this tool is. So as you can see, as I type calm body or any skill at the top, it will appear on the checklist, and it's not just appearing on your day one, it's appearing on all 5 of your days. And so let's just go ahead and get the rest of these filled in. As you can see, again, that auto generation feature. And then I just want to show you as well. So say you're like, oh, well, my kid's not ready for 5 skills. He's still learning. He's only doing 2 or 3. All you have to do is, again, backspace on these, and you can see it's taken out of your list. Now, if you want to keep these white for, just visual appearing purposes, do not delete this cell. It will mess up all of the formatting in it. What I would recommend is just going in, changing everything to white, something like that, and you can change your borders to white if that's what you need. So now, really cool part of it, again, another automation. You can click, and as you can see, as you're clicking through, the smiley faces will appear. And again, you only need 4 out of 5 rules followed to get that green smiley face. If this is something that maybe 3 is their green, you can contact us and we will be happy to help you out with that feature as well. But just wanted to show you that. And so as you can see, there's even an option for none. Maybe they had an awful breakfast, rival student triggered them and they had to spend all of breakfast in the calm room or with the guidance counselor, de-escalating, whatever it may be. You do have that option to check off none and still get that visual appeal. Now, this is where the magic comes in. What I did is started off with a blank one to show you guys how it can be built. But now I want to show you where the magic comes in. This is the weekly dashboard. Because we haven't filled out all of these days, this weekly dashboard's empty. So let's go ahead and take a look at one that's been filled out for the entire week. And I just want to really point out that all of these numbers are derived from your checks. The only thing that a teacher has to do is make check marks and make comments on whatever was happening during that period. And you will get your daily summary of how many smiley faces they've earned. You will get your daily percent in all for the day. Here you can see they had 7 calm body points out of 10. This is a 10 subject behavior log. You have 10 subjects down here. But again, this will automatically adjust. If you only fill out 8 periods, it knows to keep that as your new total. Again, you'll see that your total out of 50 points, it knows to change. Everything is done for you. So here we like to call this top half. This is the very student friendly. This can be matched to any reinforcement systems at home or at school. But here's where the real magic comes in at the bottom. We have our weekly totals by subject, so you can very easily see, oh, breakfast is a really hard time for my girl Sarah, And, adapted gym might be a little too overstimulating for her. She's really struggling on an adapted gym as well. Then you even have your weekly totals by skills. So again, she's doing great at keeping a calm body, but that finishing her work and staying in her area, debatable. Overall, she had a 60% week, and you can even leave notes for the families. So again, this is all in real time. You can have every single staff member shared on this. As an editor, you could keep the parents as a viewer or a commenter, so they're not changing anything. And I think this is a tool that I think this is the future of behavior tracking. When are you ever going to see in real time what's happening throughout your child's day with analytic data that can help derive solutions to any barriers that your student or the teacher may be facing, and you need to advocate for more support for this student? I think this is a document that very easily does this for any student. And the last thing I want to point out that is very, very important, again, two things that you want to keep in mind to never mess up the formatting. Do not backspace or do not delete this cell or reset it or anything. Just change it to white if you're not using it, or again, just backspace it and it'll go away. But so that's important to note. And then with a lot of our products, what you usually do is leave one blank and then duplicate it for that day. This is not the case in your weekly behavior log. All of the automations, the reason they're able to work their magic is because these tabs are pre-loaded. It knows exactly where to grab from. If you start duplicating, your equations will not work. So what you are going to do is keep one of these files completely blank, like we did here, right? Then at Friday or Monday, whenever you do it, you make a copy of the whole document. So basically you'll end up with lots of weekly dashboards throughout the year of how your student did. Again, this is never going to get lost. You can choose how much you want the student to see of this. Maybe they never see the dashboard. Maybe they're learning some self-reflection skills and can handle this. But again, I think this is hands down the most friendly, easiest behavior log that you will ever find. And again, it does all the analytics and synthesizing for you. Something else I would like to point out is that if you, again, like I said, we made ours with 10 subjects. If you've purchased the product and you need one with even more subjects, that's totally fine. You can click here to make a copy of the document that has 15 subjects. But that is it for your guided instructional tour of this behavior log parent communication system. We are so excited for you to give this a whirl, make your life easier, your students' lives easier. And one other thing, we are also always willing to edit anything that's not meeting your students' individualized needs. If you have any questions, please don't feel afraid to reach out to us. We are here for you and want to make sure these tools are being used to the best of the ability for you and your kids. Have a great day.